him, huh?
So Smile 2, directed by Parker Finn, same person who directed and wrote the first film. He comes back to write and direct this one. This is on a bigger scale, not just financially. This film follows a pop star by the name of Sky Riley, played by Naomi Scott. She went from playing a Power Ranger to playing a Disney princess, and now she's playing a deranged, drug addict, paranoid pop star. And in this film, I gotta say, she killed it. The first Smile came out in 2022, and it was a sleeper hit.
I loved it.
We both loved it. But something like this, when it comes to like the demon that's in this, that is stalking its prey by trauma, is really telling a lot of things, and especially for this character, because she is a character who is ridden with grief, drug addiction, and guilt.
She's a very complex character,
you know.
And I think one of the things I liked a lot about the original Smile was that even though it's about a demon or entity or something that is like haunting someone, I still felt like I could relate to the main character's central struggle. Or how do you explain something that no one else can see, no one else can feel? The more our main character Rose in the first movie tried to explain this, the more insane she sounded. This movie, same thing, except it's doubled down because, just like you said, Sky is such a complex character with a history of drug abuse. The more she tries to explain this, the more people are like convinced that she is just high. They're like, "You're using it again, aren't you?" Like, God damn it! And she's like, "No, please listen to me." And no one will listen. They just think she's just some drug-addled pop star, and they all roll their eyes. And I think people's reactions to her are scarier than the Smile monster itself. This movie picks up 6 days after Smile 1.
Immediately. This film starts off where the cop from the previous film that was trying to help Rose is basically trying to do something noble, to be honest with you. He's trying to pass this the Smile demon onto like a gang or drug dealers and stuff like that, you know?
Someone he thinks deserves it.
Parker Finn's directional style in this. Everything that is in frame is intentional. He's not showing you anything that is not meant to be seen within the frame. He gets out of his car because he sees the gang roll up to this house, and then the camera pans to a burning figure. The burning figure was Rose in the last film. So he's seeing all the bad things that happened to him, and his time is gonna be up.
And because of that, because the mise-en-scene is so critical to the film, it causes the audience to just scan the backgrounds. You just keep scanning the backgrounds the whole time. And as the movie continues, you are told that you can't trust anything.
Nothing.
You can't trust anything you see. You can't trust anything you hear. More importantly, you can't trust your phone. When our main character goes to her drug dealer, who now has the Smile demon, he's like, "I didn't tell you to come here." And he looks at his phone. He's like, "I didn't text that." And that becomes so critically important to this film. And once you realize that you can't trust anything you're seeing, anything you're reading, you don't know who she's texting. If she's texting
anybody,
does she have her phone on her? And that is just a lot of fun.
Let's talk about some other things about the film. One,
what, Voss water?
Voss, yeah, the Voss.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
the Voss water. So Sky Riley's character drinks a lot of water in here to cope with her anxiety.
The phrase "a lot of water" is the understatement of the century. Okay, like, oh my God, she guzzled like gallons on camera. It is actually impressive because she'll guzzle it in one shot,
one bottle.
Like shit, but it actually does pay off. Because by the end of the film, it's unclear if she actually drank any water at all.
Yeah.
It's unclear. She goes to rehab, and the rehab doctor is like, "Ooh, you were dehydrated." And it's like, how? Of all the humans on Earth, how? And that really puts literally every second of this film up for scrutiny. You're like, what was real and what wasn't? Because this movie is like a Russian nesting doll of hallucinations. It's like a hallucination inside of a hallucination inside of a hallucination inside of a hallucination. The doll that goes into she'll realize she's in a hallucination only to wake up in another hallucination to the point where you just don't know what's real and what's not. And we actually see the smile entity. It smiles and there's teeth and then teeth and then teeth and then teeth. So it's just layers and layers and layers and layers. It seems endless. And I love that. That's really great.
Could those teeth and could all those smiles be all the souls that it claimed?
Yeah, could be. And you know what? This movie showed the smile entity in such a different light from the first movie. Because while the smile entity was terrifying in the first movie, it was so powerful. And Smile 2. The levels of hallucination we did not see in the original. It almost seems impossible to fight this thing because you don't even know what day it is. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't tell the time. You don't know where you are. It just can rewrite your entire reality. And that is just terrifying.
There's so many things that happen in this film with Sky Riley. Where she's losing her mind, where she's on stage and she's dancing, and then she sees a glimpse of her boyfriend who died in a crash, played by Ray Nicholson, by the way, Jack Nicholson's son. And then her friend Gemma, she calls her because they were estranged for a while, and she's like, "I need you to come over." And you don't know how time is working in this film.
Right. It's unclear. It's unclear who's in the room, who isn't in the room, how much time has passed, how much time hasn't passed. Terrifying and disorienting. Oh my God, disorienting.
And this film definitely lets you know that Sky Riley was not a good person.
And that is key. That is key.
Okay.
She is a piece of She's a piece of who knows that she's a piece of and she is trying her best to be a better person. Yes. But when people see her, all they can see is the turd that she has been her whole life.
People who know her, they see the
even fans. They're just like, "Oh, you pushed that lady off the stage. Yeah. That shit was hilarious." And she's like, "Look, that was an accident. Seriously, listen to me." And no one wants to hear it. They just think she's just being a pop star.
Yeah.
You know?
And there is a scene where she does a flashback to the night where the accident happens between her and her boyfriend.
Before this, we understood this car accident as an accident. Just an unfortunate accident. Right. And the boyfriend was high and he crashed the car. But the flashback reveals something else.
Yes. She was high too. And they were going at it. Going at it in crazy argument form. And she caused the accident by attacking him and attacking the will. It really makes you think that this smile demon was like, "Oh, this is a perfect candidate for me." She is screwed up and I'm going to screw her up even more,
In this particular film, I can't tell you what the metaphor is. Is the metaphor supposed to be drug use? Is it supposed to be how people react to someone who's on drugs? Is it supposed to be about burnout? Because all of this stuff works. She is so tired and so exhausted and so frustrated with the life that she and her mother has built for her that she's become bitter and angry, and she comes off like a toddler or a child. And now that she's having a real emergency, people, they ignore her. They're just like, whatever, And again, I think that's really relatable, and that is also really important when you have a character like this, a pop star. But this movie stops to show Sky practicing and falling and not doing a very good job. We see her with their back pain because she's got to go to this drug dealer for Vicodin because that's what the wreck. She's got just a horrific scar, which looks kind of like a cadaver scar, like she got, like she got cut open or something like that. And she's got terrible back pain. So this is an awful character, just a complete head. And yet you can't help but feel for her.
Yes.
And I think that's where the power of this film comes from.
Power.
I don't think it's really from I don't think the power comes from the smile demon. I think it's because you can empathize with our main character. And that is just so vital. My biggest issue with all the paranoia and the Russian nesting dolls of hallucinations is you start to question the entire film. And I think this could be a problem because there's a point in the film when we realize that not only was her best friend Gemma never there. Neither was this helper character named Morris. Morris is someone who claims that his brother was killed by the Smile Demon 8 people before her. And he is trying to kill the Smile Demon by like
killing her,
stopping her heart. And I guess that will somehow kill the Smile Demon and then reviving her. And that'll end the whole chain, right? How much of Morris though is real?
Exactly.
It's unclear.
Was that
because Morris is
was that real what he was saying?
But to have the entire B plot of the film not be real is such a cop out. I think Morris was real up until they met personally. When they met eye to eye, that was Sky's last moment. That was the end of the line. That was her exit. She needed to go with Morris and get rid of this demon right then. But she says, "F you, you're a weirdo. I'm out of here." And she got distracted by people who recognized her in the crowd, and that signed her death certificate.
But that also goes back to can't trust your phone.
I love the ambiguity. I love it so much because that's where the horror lives. It's also, unfortunately, where the flaws in this film reside. The movie tries to cash in on a promise that happened in Smile 1. In the promotional material, they showed like people at like basketball games and baseball games just like smiling into the camera. You know, it seemed to insinuate that this Smile Demon in the right position could infect multiple people at the same time. At the end of the film, thousands of people got infected. And how does this work? I don't understand how you can have a movie where there's more than one person seeing the Smile Demon. Because then there's no more paranoia. There's just like, I literally have a problem and we need to solve it.
Yes.
Most of these movies are about trying to convince someone that you have a problem. Just trying to explain, just trying to get a listening, compassionate ear. But when everyone else is traumatized, how does this work? Even if we do completely go full in with thousands of people have the Smile entity, isn't that the apocalypse? So like, are we gonna like do like straight up apocalypse?
Smile 3D apocalypse.
Yeah, how can this work? So I feel like there's no way to really honor the end of this film in a sequel unless you minimize the end of the film. I think you've got to shrink it down, and I think they've got to have some excuse that says that maybe people are just immune to violence. They're really used to violence. Yeah. And so most people in the crowd did not get affected. So therefore, maybe the entity just passed on to the assistant or passed on to the mom or something like that. I feel like this movie, the series must ignore the ending in order to move forward in a compelling way. And I just feel like for drama purposes, it's important that it's one person against the world, you know? So I don't know how this could possibly, where do we go from here? And I sure hope Parker Finn is as creative and imaginative as both of these films have been. If he's the real deal, I think he can navigate this, and hopefully he's already got a plan. I enjoyed this series so much. Just the paranoia, the fear, and the inability to communicate with people, to just explain what is happening. I loved that. How do we move forward from having the entire arena, all of Madison Square Garden, be affected? How does that work? How does Morris work? How does Gemma, the best friend, work? I really enjoy that filmmakers like Parker Finn is saying that, hey, look, I can take this amount of money and make a compelling story with great characters in there that you are going to root for and you're going to love. And that's going to make a lot of money. I am also really happy that the genre that seems to be pushing the edge and moving the whole industry forward through hell or high water, they seem to be dragging the industry forward, is horror. And I just think that's great. And you know why it's horror? Because horror can be, not always, but can be made cheaply. And when the budgets are a little bit smaller, the producers back off just a touch, we have an environment where someone like Parker Finn, someone with a really fertile mind, as someone who's very creative, they can really do something really interesting.
Obviously, Devin and I, we did enjoy this film so much, you know, but the more important thing, did you enjoy it? Get in the comments and let us know what you thought of Smile 2.
And tell us where this series can go from here.
Where? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We really appreciate you guys. The people that is commenting and talking to us, we really do appreciate you. Please comment more and talk to us. And also, get down there and hit that subscribe button for us, all right? It's right there for you to get there and get us over 1,000, man. Let's do it. Again, if you did like this movie review, please hit the thumbs up. Or you can hit the thumbs down, whichever you choose. It is your opinion, but just remember one thing, it is mostly wrong. Stay out of mirrors, because mirrors in this film is very, very bad.